Hi there. Don't mind me. Gotta have a little bit of coffee, otherwise this video will never be made. All about the French press, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the French press. I don't know if I'm gonna hold this or not throughout the video. Let's see where we go. I do like my hand gestures, so. That is good. Okay, I'll just set that over here. Like this. And we'll go ahead and get started. Hello world, this is Tucker, your friendly neighborhood nerd, and today we're going to be talking about why we're here. What is the meaning of existence? What does it even mean to be a human being, right? And what about this thing that we call reality? Yeah, that's that's not what we're talking about today. Oh, the channel. Today we're going to talk about why we are doing this channel. When I say we, I mean myself and my best friend Matt. We are doing this together. Atypical Nerding is our collective brainchild. And he is actually going to be doing a video very, very much like this one, although we have not talked about what we're going to say in these videos. We kind of wanted it to be a little bit off the cuff, not so much planned, and then we could kind of see how aligned or maybe misaligned we are on our goals for the channel. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dig into what I would like to accomplish with Atypical Nerding. Alright, number one would be to build a community, and not just any community, because of course every group that you participate in on the interwebs is some sort of a community. Every channel that you go to is some sort of a community. So obviously just building a community that's going to be done simply by virtue of having created a channel, we want to build a specific kind of channel. Or rather, I should say that I want to build a specific kind of, not channel, but community. One that feels kind of like a family. My idea, what I want is for you, for everyone to be able to come here and be themselves and express themselves. Especially, I want people to feel comfortable expressing opinions that maybe are a bit unpopular or that differ with someone else's. However, I do want to make it clear that to build the kind of community that I am envisioning, it is going to be extremely important that we all treat one another with respect. I know, it sounds a little bit silly, but let's just try to keep that in mind. The whole idea being that if we're doing that, if we're treating one another with respect, hopefully when we get into arguments, they are constructive ones. They are ones where we are ultimately striving towards finding some sort of truth and not just letting these arguments devolve into some sort of a pissing contest. Nobody wants that. Before I move on to point two, I do want to make a quick sub point, which is, it's basically, I want everyone to think about what we might be able to accomplish if when this channel becomes wildly successful. We have a huge community that feels like a family, that is all very respectful of one another, that supports one another. Again, a very big community. What might we be able to accomplish then? My hope is that we could have an influence on the industries that we love so well. The gaming and film industries to start, although probably have a better chance of influencing the gaming industry. I kind of feel like the film industry does more or less whatever it wants. Anyway, that's kind of a pipe dream, but why not shoot for the stars, right? Moving on to number two. This one is probably the one that I'm most amped up about, and so I am likely to digress many times. Thank God for editing. So if I start to digress and it ends up someplace that I feel has not contributed anything at all to the video, I can just do a hard cut and get rid of all that, and you won't have to see it. Number two is to transmit the wisdom that I feel like I might have collected in my quarter of a century of existence here on Earth, but more importantly, not to just transmit my wisdom or for Matt to transmit his, but for us to, all of us as a community, grow our collective wisdom. I know that sounds a little silly, but bear with me. What I want to do is draw attention to the deeper themes and the positive messages that really are already there in the shining examples of the various forms of media that we love. If you look at them with a critical enough eye, they might provide you with some insights, some wisdom that you can take home with you and kind of put to use in your own life. in an attempt to make it better, make it easier to live. I don't know if I'm the only one that has noticed this, but it is not the easiest thing in the world being a human being. Yeah, it can be kind of difficult at times, right? I'm not the only one that feels that way, right? Right? I sure hope not. If so, maybe you guys can help me with that. Anyway, because of that, because I truly believe it is difficult to work through this thing that I like to call the human condition, we're going to touch on all kinds of different concepts that are, again, going to be springing up in the media that we cover. Everything from friendship to issues with self-image and self-awareness. Also, how cultivating mindfulness can make your life better and easier. Also, how to cultivate mindfulness. And let's see, maybe also why we should all follow the golden rule. I think that'll come up in quite a few things that we cover, or at least maybe it's not there. Maybe there is an absence of the golden rule, and a lot of really terrible things happen, and we can point that out. But so all of that, lots more, really anything that has to do with personal growth, we're going to be touching on it at some point, or at least we want to. I do want to stress, though, this will never be like the focus of our videos. It's going to be, what's the right word? Ancillary to the main stuff, the real meat and potatoes, which of course is going to be just our coverage of the games and the movies that you all are interested in, that you all are coming to the channel to get some information about. That is always first and foremost, and that brings us to point 3, which is, my goal is to bring you all the best news and insights from, to start, the gaming and film industries. One caveat, though, we are aspiring news persons. I think that this is going to be kind of a sticking point. This is going to be something that is a little bit difficult for us at first. Rest assured, one promise that I can absolutely make all of you is that we will get better at it. There is not a thing that I do in my entire life that I am okay with being just, moderately alright at. I might only end up being moderately alright at something, but I'm always going to be striving to do it in the best possible way. Anyways, feel like we're getting into this late into the game, and that's why I do think that there's lots of things that we're going to have to do to differentiate ourselves in order to stand out and provide something new. Offer you all a really great value proposition for the time that you're choosing to come and spend with us. So one of those ways that I would like to differentiate ourselves is to really be engaged with our community. Hopefully, because we're so engaged, we can curate the content in such a way that, again, you guys are just getting all the stuff that you really want to hear about most. All right, moving on to our last point here. This has already run on way too long. But anyway, number 4, perhaps the most important, is that we just want to have fun. Nay, we want to have a blast, an absolute blast, just playing games, watching movies, and then afterwards, hopefully, having enlightening discussions about them together with all of you guys. Our hopefully ever-growing YouTube family. Well, all right, that is pretty much all I've got for you guys today. I really appreciate you guys for stopping by. Thank you. If you feel like you've been even moderately entertained, informed, maybe not that one yet, or enlightened, perhaps, probably not that one yet either, but please consider giving us a thumbs up, maybe even hitting that subscribe button, or don't. We love you anyway. For more atypical antics and who knows, maybe even some news, keep it tuned to ATN. Have a lovely day, everybody. Nerd out.